quickly see, we have only 8 classes. So how many of you just attended previous classes? Raise your hand. So I can be having an idea. Okay.
You want us to switch on the video, ma'am? Not required, right?
Not required. Okay, most of you. Did not. Sorry, I can see. Whoever is unmuting yourself, careful. Please, it will create a lot of disturbance. Most of you did not raise your hand.
I am out of sight, out of mind. I'm not able to check that option of hand.
Achha. If that's the case, okay. Otherwise, it's being very difficult to continue with, because without having previous knowledge, if you jump to actual concepts, that would be more difficult. Your voice probably mute. So what?
No, madam, it is audible.
Okay.
No, it is audible, ma'am.
Out of 65 participants, only 21 raised hand. Okay. Okay. Okay, not an issue. Please, if you did not attend it, please refer the like whatever the material is given to you, because I can't help you. Okay. So this is, I'm Sumana. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Sumana. I'm taking your first paper, Principles of Psychology. So we already done 8 classes, offline mode. And this is 9th class, not the first class. This is 9th class. So you left out only, okay, not an issue. Leave it. You left out with only 8 classes. So in 8 classes, we have to cover most of the syllabus. So I'm not going to recap all that, whatever we did in previous classes. So I'm just going with the flow, the continuation. So yes, before I start, I would like to know how many of you have an idea like what exactly perception is. Let me show some PPT to you. What is perception? What do you mean by perception?
Madam, it is how we understand the things, ma'am. We see with our sense organs, and how we process the information and how we perceive it. Actually, we perceive it in our own this thing, whether how we are perceiving that information, how we are understanding that information. That is perception, ma'am.
It's individual opinion?
Yes, ma'am.
There is a disturbance.
That is interpretation of information from sense organs. That is how. Yes, ma'am. Am I correct, ma'am? We gather information from sense organs and we perceive it. How we perceive it, how we understand it.
Yes.
That is perception.
Yes, yes. Others?
It's an individual opinion, ma'am.
Individual opinion. Okay. Anybody else?
It is your initial thought process without any filters.
When the stimulus operates in an environment, It comes through sensory organs and we perceive.
Is there a problem with my system or from your end?
Fine for us, ma'am. I mean, for me, it is fine.
I repeat.
Yeah, for me also your voice is fine.
Ma'am, could be your headset issue. Sometimes
Yeah, maybe.
When a stimulus occurs in an environment, we perceive it through our sensory organs.
I'm just not able to hear. I'm just not able to hear. There's a lot of disturbance. Okay. So perception is, yeah, how we understand the things. In general, day-to-day terminology, it's like how we understand the environment around us, how we understand people around us. Yes, the situation which we come across. So here, overall, perception talks about, like every lay person says, the way I look things, the way I look around, yes, the way I understand things. Yes, this is the general definition which is given by every layman, like not related to psychology. Every people will give this kind of information related to perception. But for a psychology student, perception, the definition is different from others. It's more or less the same what people understand, but it is the definition. If we should give the proper terminology, yes, how other people are giving the definitions related to the concepts, we are not supposed to. Yes, we are not the ones who just go ahead with general terms or something. We should use some scientific terminology and scientific definitions whenever you are talking about any concept in psychology. Yes, here in perception also, it is like perception is a process through which we understand, organize, and interpret the information which is received by our sense organs. Yes, whatever our sense organs receives the information, collects the information, that is first paid attention. Yes, all our sense organs receives the information, and that information is attended, or we do pay attention towards that information, and whatever the information we are attending, that will be processed, organized. Yes, that will be systematically placed and gives or attach a meaning to it. So that process is known as perception. So how we can explain it? See here, you people able to see me. Yes, you are listening my words. Along with this, please, whoever unmuted, please mute yourself. It's from my end only.
Vidya Reddy something. Shankar sir, you are also unmuted.
Audio cannot hear. Is it a problem for everyone? You people not able to hear properly?
no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Voice is clear. Voice is clear.
Please mute everyone, ma'am.
All of you, please mute yourselves.
Ma'am, you can do it from your end, ma'am.
Otherwise, I'll mute everyone.
Yes, ma'am. It is better, ma'am. If not, we cannot proceed with the class.
It's not given to me.
Someone has logged in with the 2 devices, so that sound will come.
Yeah, now it's clear. Please be like this.
The same person might.
They haven't given me this. Okay. So, perception is, please all of you be careful while you are unmuting. If you want to give any answer, need to respond anything, please give a response and immediately mute yourselves. This is a problem with the online platform. Again, please, I did not ask anything. No need to answer. Use your emojis or message chat box. Please don't unmute. Okay. So
let me there is a lot of disturbance. Will you able to see my slide?
No, ma'am. We are not able to see your slide, ma'am. Now it is seen, ma'am.
I need to try closing some applications. What applications I should? Who's this? And be able to trace out that person. Please, it's very.
Vidyarati is there is a noise coming, madam. Vidyarati is something.
I'm not able to unmute.
Yes, ma'am. They are just coming and they're just they're not taking care of the meeting, ma'am. They're just logging in and not taking care of their background sound.
It is better to mute you, madam. You can mute all.
No, that option is not showing for me.
As a host, you will have, ma'am.
No, it's not there. Always they will give this. Just call out her name, no, please, if you can.
I think only host can mute everyone, madam.
Did they have given me host?
Ma'am, you are co-host, ma'am. So only host can mute if you ask the person.
Even co-host also can do it, but this time I don't know. It's not given. This option is not showing to me. Okay, whatever it is, but will you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, able to see.
So here what happens in perception? Our sense organs continuously receives the information. Yes, whether you are focusing on one thing or not. See, so many things in our around our environment, like this noise or something else is going on around us. So everything our sense organs noted of. Yes, they'll collect this information. It's not like you are focusing on lecture and your sense organs are not taking information from external environment. Yes, whatever you are doing, all your sense organs continuously, they'll intake the information. Yes, they'll continuously bombard the information. So we are not always able to focus on each and every information which is collected by your sense organs. If you are listening this lecture, maybe you are hearing some noise from outside or bird sound or fan sound or something you are hearing, but still you can focus on the lecture and ignore the other things. Yes. So finally, what we are doing, though our sense organs are receiving the information continuously, dumping the information continuously, we are not paying equal attention to each and every information. We are just focusing on whatever is important for us, whatever is needed for us. Yes. So consciously or unconsciously, what we are doing, whatever is important for us, we are focusing on it. Okay. So at this moment, what I want, you are focusing on it, means our attention becomes very selective. So this lecture is important right now for me. Let me ignore other things. So even though it is, sometimes it is conscious or sometimes it is unconsciously, you are paying attention towards one thing and ignores the other. So what happens when you are paying attention? Yes, you are paying attention towards my lecture, whatever I'm talking, whatever I'm showing through PPT. So here you are watching something and you are listening something. So these are for your sense organs, for your eyes, it's just an image. And for your ears, it's just a sound vibration. Yes or no? Whatever I'm talking is just a sound vibration for your ears. It's just your sense organs are just a channel or medium to receive some information. Yes. So those sound waves or those images, whatever you are focusing, those send to our brain. So in the brain, again, we have different locations. So based on that location, all the sensory images reach us to one location, and all information related to auditory reaches one location. Information related to sensation reaches one location. Yes. So in this way, each localization in the brain will respond to each and every information received by your sense organ. Yes. So that information will be processed. Yes. You are able to understand whatever I'm talking with you people. Yes or no? Yes, you people are able to understand it.
Yeah, madam. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are able to understand.
Oh. Please unmute and talk. Sorry, mute and talk. Not with me. If others, if you are talking, please mute yourself. So, the process of perception, what it does, whatever the information our sense organs are receiving, that will attach a meaning to it, or it will organizes the information. Yes. So based on our past experiences, we learned how to, what we can say, how to associate the information. See, whatever I'm talking, these are just words. And you are connecting these words and getting a meaning out of it. Yes. So here in the last para, you can see the perception involves searching for obtaining and processing information in the mind in an attempt to make sense of the world. Yes. What we are doing, we are receiving some information, we are collecting some information, and that information is organized. Yes. That information is processed and attaching some meaning to understand it or give some meaning to that information. Yes. So later we can retrieve that information. Later we can use it for the purpose, whatever we want. So this is overall the nature or definition of information. Yes. If anybody, sorry, definition of perception. In the future, if anybody asks what exactly perception is, so perception is a continuous process. It's not a product. It's not an end result. It's a continuous process. Yes. So for this, we can say perception is the higher order. So basic order is sensation. So here what is happening? All the sense organs, all 5 sense organs together collecting some information from the internal and external resources. Yes.
Ma'am, if you have the host access, you can mute everyone, ma'am.
It's not showing. That's the problem.
Okay. Even the co-host can do the same.
That's what I'm saying. Since last year, it's clearly used to visible.
Madam, press Alt. Madam, press Alt M. Madam, press Alt plus M.
Plus
Alt plus
R and M.
Alt
and
M.
Alt, ma'am. ALT. Alt plus M.
Alt plus M.
Okay. Is it? Is it working? Please raise your hand. Don't do anything more than that. Okay, good. Thank you. So again,
Not working.
that's what I'm saying. It's not given.
No
Because
issues, madam.
it's
Please continue.
participants. When I'm clicking participants, immediately they used to give the options. But now it's showing only invite option. Nothing more than that. Okay. So with all these disturbances, will you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear for you people?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Please
exactly.
continue.
Exactly, ma'am. We are following you, madam. Please.
Okay. Thank you.
Ignoring the disturbances.
Very good. So you
We will
people are
focus only on this, ma'am. By
very
ignoring
good.
the
So
disturbances.
highly using the selective attention. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to share this PPTs for us?
Actually, no. If you find it useful, actually randomly I have collected from the Google only.
Okay,
Taken. I did not prepare this personally. So
Okay.
if you find it useful, please click a picture.
Do we have an option to download it or else screenshot?
Yeah, you can take
Okay.
screenshots. You can. Yes. So overall characteristics of perception, if you see, it's a continuous process. Every day, every moment, even though you are sleeping, our sense organs receives the information. Yes, it's a continuous process throughout the life. And continuously we try to interpret, we try to analyze, we try to organize the information. So basically, our sense organs are responsible. Then our attention, we do pay attention towards the things. So this information will be processed. That's the end product. Then, yes, what exactly this perception is doing for us? So we are able to understand the things, able to interpret the things easily, because through this perception only we can analyze this, we can understand, we can adjust with our environment. Yes, our environment actually includes people, objects, situations. Yes, all these things. Be able to adjust with others easily because we able to interpret, be able to analyze others' behaviors. Yes, be able to deal with the situation because we are able to analyze or predict the situation. So we can understand ourselves. So we can say perception is a source for our survival. Yes, that is providing some knowledge how we can understand, adjust with our environment. Then, yes, so however we are responding towards our environment means we are actually predicting the things. We can analyze, we can predict. So this is helping the organism to prepare the self. So we have various principles. I'm not going in detail like concept to concept or topic to topic. Let me check what all are. Yes. So we do use certain principles to understand or analyze the information. Yes, we do understand what kind of person he or she is, or we can predict the situation like pandemic. Yes, after all, we are all able to adjust with it. We able to deal with the situation. Yes, we understood what kind of precautionary measures we need to take and how we should maintain distance with others or how to deal with the situation. We learned it. Yes. So here we learned it means we analyzed it. We understood what exactly the pandemic or this coronavirus is, how it's going to affect us. So on what basis we are analyzing the things. Yes. So we can apply this analysis for individuals, social concepts like situations or objects and everything. So here we see whenever we are understanding or analyzing the things, we use certain principles. Yes, we all are using this, but only the thing we don't know the technical terms or the concept theoretically. But everybody, each and every person will use these concepts or principles to analyze or understand the environment. So these principles, perceptual principles, are dependent on Gestalt theory. We already discussed in our offline classes like what exactly this Gestalt theory is. So Gestalt theory or Gestalt school of thought actually focused on whenever we see the things, we don't look at on the individual elements. We only focus on the wholeness, the completeness. Yes, if we look at an individual, if you have to describe about the person, you will say he's a human being with this qualities, traits, and this personality or something. But you don't describe like it's an a living creature with 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 nose, 1 mouth. You don't. Yes, you don't describe like that. You don't focus on individual elements while understanding a human being. Yes, you go with completeness, wholeness. Yes, so you ignore these individual elements. You focus on the wholeness, completeness. So human being is a complete part. You don't look at the individual elements. So this wholeness, the concept they have come up, this Gestalt psychologists have come up with this. So whenever we are analyzing a person, we see him as a whole. Yes, whenever we are understanding situation, we look at as a whole. Yes. So when we are looking this wholeness, we focus on certain principles. So in that, one principle is good figure. So if you observe these individual elements, these are not actually placed in such a way to form a good figure. But we are observing it as a good figure. Are you able to see this slide? Raise the hands or...
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, madam.
Immediately. Mute yourself. Oh, thank you for your response. Okay, I understood. Thanks for your response. Please mute yourself. Okay. So here, sorry. So here the first concept is simply they have placed certain circles. Yes, it's just a random circle. But how we are looking at it? We are not looking at as a few number of circles or dots. We are looking at it as a complete figure. So whenever we look at the objects and other things, we look at as a complete figure, complete wholeness or a complete group or something. Then other principle is similarity. So whenever the certain things are similar, see if we have to group the things together, these 2 circles are very much similar. So we group it. Our perception when we are analyzing that particular concept, these 2 we can observe it as one group, not we just ignore that triangle thing. Yes. So whenever there is a similarity, for example, you come to know that of 5 members, a group, not group, 5 members randomly have come from one particular place. Maybe I met in a conference that 5 individuals from Ambedkar University. Yes, they have no connection. Somewhere they studied in Ambedkar University, but in different courses or somewhere, they never met. But all they came to attend that conference. There also they did not met each other. But I met these all 5 individuals individually. all these 5 people individually. So what's my perception? I did not ask them like, do you all know each other? No, I simply met and they said like, I'm from Ambedkar University. I did not ask much and they did not tell me anything about their course or something. End of the day, how I interpret these 5 individuals as one group. They studied in Ambedkar University. So I perceive like, because the similarity is all studied in Ambedkar University. So end of the day, my perception is, okay, all these 5 might be friends. They might have met in Ambedkar University. So they might have discussed about this conference and they came to attend this conference. That was my perception. I don't think that, I don't analyze in such a way. Maybe all these 5 from Ambedkar University, they might have not met each other. If I have enough information, I can get a clear clarity. But if I don't have, I only know that these 5 from Ambedkar University. Then based on this similarity, I group all these as one part. Understood? Then closure also the same concept like similarity. So whenever we see the things very close to each other, yes, then we try to see it as a whole. So visual connection or continuity between sets of elements which do not actually touch each other in a composition. They are not actually, the figure is not complete, but how we able to see it, there is a square or rectangle. Square, be able to see a square instead of, we don't initially, if you observe that, you can observe it as there is a square on those circles or on that image. But you don't perceive it as there is, these images are not connected with each other. That's the reason it is forming like that. No, we won't. So closure, whenever people are close together, or closer doesn't mean only this is more or less related to objects. Yes. So whenever the things are very close to each other, or in their characters or traits, if you apply the same concept to human beings, we tend to analyze as a complete figure, or we don't, or we ignore the gaps or disconnectivity. That's the concept of closure. And proximity is whatever is close to each other, all are interrelated. Please don't get confused. If you want more information, there are so many sources, and in your manual also it's given elaboratively about these principles. I might be going a bit fast because in 8 classes we have to complete so much of syllabus. So yes, so that is that constant idea is triggering me while I'm teaching this. Maybe I'm too slow or too fast kind of thing. So I'm not that comfortable like in classrooms. Okay, proximity is whenever the things or people are together. For example, if 2 individuals are sitting on, for example, in the classroom environment, 2 individuals are sitting on a bench every day in my class, 2 individuals are sitting together. So how I perceive them, maybe they are best friends. That's the reason they are sitting together. So here, what principle I am applying? Proximity. So in the geographical location, people or objects which are close together, placed together, we tend to perceive it as they as one group. Okay. Then continuation. Here, this principle is randomly it's just placed 2 lines. Yes, but how we are analyzing it, if there is no content, only if there is a cross mark. So we have attached a meaning to it. It's a cross mark, but it's just, it can be randomly 2 objects placed like that. There's no meaning, but we already have For that symbol, we already have a meaning. So we try to assign that meaning to that randomly placed objects. Yes. So if you have a preconceived notion about people or culture or group or place or something, if it is placed randomly also, you develop a belief towards that. That is about continuation. Yes. Then symmetry. So here the symmetry is the object tend to be perceived as symmetrical shapes that form around their center. So symmetry is very much similar. So if we observe right from the center, we tend to perceive the things are very similar to each other. Two sides are similar to each other. So these are the few principles, but you can go ahead with many other principles are there in Gestalt, like figure and ground principle. It's a basic principle. This figure and ground principle, you can see whenever we are understanding a person or object or anything, where it is placed, based on that we analyze the things. For example, if a person is standing, a girl is standing in front of a temple, your perception towards that girl is different compared to the girl is standing in front of a bar. Yes, the same girl standing in front of a temple and standing in front of a bar. So here figure and ground. Figure is the girl, ground is the background. Yes, so we take the clue of a background and interpret the figure. Understood? So figure and ground principle, in which context we are observing an individual, in which context we are seeing the things. Based on that, our interpretation changes, our analysis towards the things changes. So, is there anything I left out? Okay. So we're done with one unit. That is unit 9, perception. I have given a brief of this unit. Please, you need to refer. End of the day, you have to focus on. You have to learn. Yes, you can't totally dependent on your respective counselor. Okay, so unit 10 talks about perceptual constancies. So before we go to this, actually perceptual constancies, I didn't prepare any slide on that. This is very simple concept. The entire unit is on perceptual constancies. So yeah, not entire unit, very few topics on perceptual constancies. Like first we'll discuss what exactly perceptual constancies. If I use perceptual constancies means certain things. See, for example, you are observing a color. Yes, you have a red car. Yes, you owned a red car, bright red car. So you know what your car's color is. Yes, you have a clear idea of your car's color. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Yes. So in the daylight, in the bright daylight, the car's color is very much brighter. Yes, compared to the light, night time light. Yes, in the night time, the light, your car's color is bit dull compared to bright or sunny day. Yes or no? The shade of that car's color changes, or color of the brightness changes. Yes. So do you can say that mornings my car color is very bright red and nights it is dull, or it is not red but maroon or something? If anybody says, if anybody asks whether it's a daytime or nighttime, you will say my car's color is red. Irrespective of its changes in color, depends on the day and night. Yes, so that is known as constancy, perceptual constancy. Yes, so this constancy will be having towards the size, shape, color. Yes, for example, for the size of a human being. Yes, you know that your friend is around 5.6 feet or something. Feet or it's only, no? Always I'll get confused between this. Okay, so you know your friend's height. Yes, when you directly communicate how much height he or she is, you know about it. Yes, and the same person's height, when you observe from the height, you are somewhere, you are standing on 4th floor building and you are looking at your friend. He is standing in the, what we can say, parking lane or something, and you are discussing with him, communicating from the 4th floor or 3rd floor or something. So his height is not same as when you communicate or sees in front of him. Yes, do you say that his height got changed? No. Even though you have seen him from 4th floor or 2nd floor or from the flight or somewhere, you will be having a clear idea what his or her height is. That is the constancy. Yes. So people who drives, yes, they will be very much able to relate to this. When you are driving a long distance, going to a long distance, after some time, after a kilometer, when you are traveling, the road looks a bit curved. It won't look straight. Yes. Though your eyes able to see there is a curve, but still you go straight. Why? Because you will be having that constancy. It is looking curved, but it is straight. Yes, because of the distance, it is giving an image of a curve, but the road is straight enough. I have to go straight. So you will be having a very much clear idea or perception or analysis about road, that the road is straight only. The same concept you can apply to this railway tracks. Yes, when you observe the railway tracks from the long distance, that after some distance, that looks a bit curved, but still we'll be having that perception that the tracks are straight enough. The same thing you can apply to metro pillars or something. It looks very curved, but still it is straight. Same thing. So all these size, shape, color, height, brightness, location also. If you, the door, angle of the door actually changes when you close and open. If you actually observe, the angle of the door changes, but still we'll be having a constancy, a constant analysis or idea about the angles, that though it is looking different, it is same. Yes. So our perceptual imagery differs, but our mental concept towards that size, height, and color is very much constant in nature. So these four concepts like shape, size, color, and location, I'm not going in detail. You can refer by your own self. Yes. So these are known as perceptual constancies. Am I clear? Why you all,
yes,
most of
yes.
you are raised your voice, hand. For what reason? Do you have any doubts, or did I ask you to raise your hand and you left out like that?
Madam, initially you asked in the beginning, madam.
Okay, so you still raised. Okay, okay. Yeah. So we're done with this perceptual constancies, and next topic is about depth perception. Yeah, you all have to refer. I'm just giving a brief idea like what it is. Overview of the concept. I'm not going in detail. Later, if we find time, then I will explain all this again.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, can you explain closure once again with an example? I'm just trying to relate.
Closure is whenever you observe these figures, untouched figures. Here also in the image, if you observe, these are actually that image is not complete. There is a gap between each circle. But we are not seeing the gaps, but we are able to see a square in that. Instead of seeing the incomplete picture, we able to frame it as a square. Here in this example.
I'm still trying to, is it that because we are looking at the circles and then there's a gap in circles, but so you're saying that irrespective of the circles, we focus on the square that is formed?
You are not able to see a gap over there. You can see a square over there.
Yeah.
Not exactly the gap, but our brain is perceiving it as a square, a complete figure. On those circles, there is a square. It's a complete figure for me. Not exactly. My brain is not exactly analyzing it. It's an incomplete image. Actually, that image is incomplete.
Okay.
But we are thinking that the square is connecting the images.
Yes,
exactly. Thinking that there is no gap, but the square is
completing that image. Exactly.
Okay, we get it.
So we're saying that the formation of square is a representation that the four circles are connected. That's...
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Our brain is not taking in such a way that these circles are not completed, they are not touching. No, we are not interpreting in that way. We are interpreting as that square is the actual image which is completing the entire figure.
Or is it that we assume or we perceive that every image, we close the image? Like for me, I might close the circles. I might assume that the circles are closed and the square is superimposing on it.
Maybe
so
anything,
whatever perception an individual can close it. They will close the whole concept.
Exactly. We are closing it. We are not seeing it as an incomplete image. We are giving a proper meaning to that image.
So basically, we are attaching a perception to give a meaning to whatever we are seeing.
Exactly.
And bring it to closure is what you mean by closure.
Exactly. All these principles are assigning some meaning to whatever we are seeing.
Okay.
So on what basis you are giving meaning is a different principle.
Okay. It's like we have visual illusions that, that could be doing something that we tend to associate some meaning to that illusion and say, this might be it. And that we can call it as a closure. Am I right?
Can be. Yes. All these are illusions only.
No, I think the others we could at least associate some pattern, right? So there is similarity or symmetry, or there is a pattern that we could associate. But in terms of illusion, where body moving right or left or a line, we tend to associate something to say, oh, this might be it, and we close that statement.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Here in this, in your manual also, the closure is given like with, if anybody can show that, do you people have your manuals with you? Like we don't complete the figure of, for example, 2 or 3 lines, and it represents a figure or a letter or something. But actually, it's not complete figure. There is some gap between that image or something, but we overlook that particular gaps.
It's something like, madam, M.
Whatever is given here, square or M or something.
Yes, it's given in
Can
your
I,
book.
can I have a small doubt, please, madam, in the previous perception? It's like, what stops you, what makes you perceive a thing in the, like what I find, everything you connect to the brain, everything you connect to learning skills, everything
Yes.
connect to a, your experience in the past or something.
Exactly.
So
how we are attaching meaning to anything depends on our various factors.
Yes, madam. That means autistic child cannot correlate a perception.
May not.
He may not.
May or may not. May or may not.
Because he perceives with his own experience, with his non-developed brain, he cannot do it. So to really stress on something regarding the which part of brain really receives the perception, what sensory organs really responsible for it.
It's not like perception. There is only one location where the perception takes place. No, we have different locations. Like we have 4 lobes in each side of the.
That 4, 5, 6 chapter you have missed it. But what we have gathered is that there's something called cortical, right, madam?
Sorry, cortisol.
Something, right? Cortex, cortical, neurons.
Cortex.
Yeah, cortex and vertically
Cerebral
arranged
cortex.
neurons. Yes, vertically arranged neurons. They receive the receptors basically. They receive all these sensings and transmit.
In each sense organ, there are receptors which collects the information. Again, they sense this to different locations in the brain.
Yes.
So temporal lobe, occipital lobe, all these lobes.
Chapter 4, 5, and 6 units.
I will definitely. We will go back and we'll refer all those things again.
These are units very particular. We should understand.
True. Definitely, I will give information on that. I won't leave you. I'll leave other chapters if we are unable to do, but definitely I'll do that biological thing.
Okay, thank you.
So here, try to understand the psychological concepts. 1 minute, let me complete this. Try to understand the psychological concepts, and in those, whatever the units we left out, there we try to connect these psychological concepts to physiological concepts. Yes, somebody's.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a small doubt, ma'am. This perception can be like this perception differs from person to person, no, ma'am. For the same object, one person perceives in one way, another person does it in another way. So, is there anything like this perception can be positive and negative?
Yeah, can be positive, cannot be.
So, in that cases, like these perceptual constants is whatever we are learning, and that just all figures, the principles, whatever are there, what we are studying, like how do they affect them in order to develop our perception from negative to positive side? So how can we adopt such principles, like in our life, how can we adopt?
No, it's not about adapting the principles or whatever it is. See here, whatever these principles are given, they are there, principles are there. Whether you interpret the situation in a positive way or negative way, however it is, something and the other principle you are using for it.
Okay,
see,
like is there anything like...
for example, how there are around 60 members in this class. So 60 people may not understand these concepts in the same way. Yes. So few... the way I'm teaching also, few may understand, few may not understand, few may like it, few may not like it. So all this depends on their perceptual analysis. Yes. So how, for example, we'll take only 2. Out of 60, 30 liked this session very well, liked it very much. Others did not. So what are the factors contributing for this? Their past experiences. Yes. Their... what we can say, their culture or their understanding, their education.
Yes, subjective and objective factors.
Exactly. So all these factors are contributing to behave in such a way. So here, by using all these factors, along with all these factors, these principles, I'll pick up based on my experience, based on my knowledge. I pick up some principle and I analyze the things. Here, these principles doesn't, it's like, it won't be like only for positive or negative, whatever it is. Yes, whatever
the analysis it is, whatever the interpretation it is, depends on that. You use, depends on the context, depends on the requirement or resources, you use these principles. Yes, and for this perceptual constancies, see, perception is innate as well as learned. Yes. So constancies, we can say it's a physiological factor which is contributing to develop an idea about the constancies. So we are physiologically tuned to observe certain things in a fixed pattern.
Excuse me, ma'am. Does perception depends on the interest of a person also?
Obviously.
Okay.
Yes. If you are really interested in psychology, you perceive psychology in a different way. You understand psychology in a different way. Yes. If the person is not interested, forced in psychology, he felt it or he interpreted it as a dry subject. So every concept or motivation, attention or interest, many factors, all these factors contribute to how we analyzing a thing. Yes, and it is completely a subjective evaluation. It definitely differs. Our perceptions differs person to person. And we are not actually perceiving the reality. We are looking at the things the way we want. Yes, we are not perceiving, we are not analyzing the reality. No one individual, not even a single individual on earth, will perceive the things how they are. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Continue.
Okay. So depth perception, how this perception. So for perception, the first step is our sensation, our sense organs. We are visualizing something. So our vision is 3-dimensional. Yes, always our vision is 3-dimensional. Maybe you people are finding difficulty in understanding these concepts because they left over that physiological or biological concepts. But still, I try to make you understand what exactly it is. So, depth, 3 dimensions. It's like whenever we observe an object, yes, object or person or whatever it is, our vision go with 3-dimension way, 3D. What it is? Length, width, and distance. Yes, length, width, and distance. So the 3 things: how much, how far the person is, how near the person is, or how near the object is. Say there is one, for example, I need to take a book. So my vision will tell me how much I need to bend to get that book. Yes. So the brain immediately giving a signal how much I need to stretch my hand to reach that book or reach that object. Yes or no? Do you sit and analyze like how much I need to bend myself or how much I need to stretch my hand? No. If by seeing that object, you will decide like whether I have to get up from here and take that object, or by sitting here only I can reach that object. Yes or no? Be able to analyze it. How much I need to stretch myself to reach that object. Please mute yourself. Got it? So this distance is the 3rd dimension, which is known as depth perception. Depth is nothing but distance. So on what basis we judge or analyze the distance? How far that object is, how far that person is, or how near the objects to me. So to analyze this depth or distance, we use two things, like based on two things. Our eyes only the basic source to get this information of distance. So even with one eye also you can get this information of distance. Even with two eyes also you can get this information. Yes. Here, if you see, depth perception is the ability to see things in a three-dimensional way and to judge the distance. So here, the cues which we are using to analyze the distance or judge the distance is binocular cues or monocular cues. Binocular cues means vision with both the eyes. Monocular cues means vision with only one eye. Yes. So first we will discuss about monocular cues. So by seeing with one eye also we can judge the distance. Yes. So that is, these cues are often used in making 2D image appear to be 3D. And in this case, they are called pictorial depth cues. So people who are in web designing or mostly in web designing, they'll come to know that what exactly this 2D and 3D animations are. Okay. So what are the different cues here? It is like on what basis, what are the principles we are applying to judge the distance? Yes. So all these cues, whatever we are applying with one eye, by seeing with one eye also you are able to judge or able to analyze the distance. So if you have to see the things, the same thing what I told you, railway tracks. So from far distance, if you observe, if you find these two parallel lines are meeting together, yes, means what I am seeing there is I have to walk for a long distance. Got it? The merge of these parallel lines gives an indication that it's a far distance. You need to walk or you need to reach. Reaching of that location is far away from you.
Like meeting or intersecting at infinity.
Sorry, reaching?
At infinite distance. Like from here, we can see like an illusion, like it intersects with some infinite distance.
Yes. Then pictorial cues. So the atmospheric cues also gives an idea or gives an information like how far these things are. So aerial perspective. So atmospheric or aerial perspective. So the higher or hazier contours are, these are more hazier because they are further away. So if you find there is a smoke or there is hazier things, then you can see, okay, it's far away from. If while you are traveling, you can get this view. Yes, either hill stations or if you are crossing any places. So if you find the smoke or hazier contours, then you can understand that those hills are far away from the place I'm traveling or something. Yes, that giving this haze is giving an idea that it is far away from us. Okay. So in the environmental cues like more air or moisture, dust also will give an idea how much far we are or close we are. Then overlap. So the person in this, you able to follow this slides? However, I'm changing. Is it showing the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we are talking about overlap. So the things which are overlapping, we tend to analyze it as the one which is overlapped or very front of us is closer to us, and the things which are covered by those are in a far distance. So in this photograph, you can see the girl who is sitting in front of these two. This is closer to us compared to those two else. Then this pillar is very closer. So we can say this pillar is nearer, and the yellow pillar and other things are far away. So the overlap, by seeing the object overlapping, also we can estimate the distance, how far or how close it is. Then shadows. Yes, lights and shadows also gives the information. If you place a candle at night times, during night times or dark times, what we can say, the shadow, the smaller shadow shows that the object is nearer to us, and the larger shadow will be given intimation or gives an idea that that is far away. Yes. So the shadings and the shadows also gives a cue for us or clues for us to estimate the distance. Then texture. If it is a smooth texture, then we can say it is a distant object. If we able to recognize the texture, if it is not even detailed texture we able to see, then it is close to us. See here, there's two kinds of distinct textures you can observe. Here, the first one is uneven, means that is closer to us, so we can see the smaller details. This is uneven. Then the other one is very much even. Yes, the texture is smooth, so we can say that that is far away. Yes, here the trees, we can see the details. Yes.
For this, we can example in the Telugu proverb, Durapu Kondalu Nunupu.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, if we don't see the detailed structure or texture, not the structure, texture, if it is smooth, then that texture itself giving an idea that that is far away, that is, it is distant objects. If we able to see the clear texture, detailed texture, then that is closer to us. So the texture itself is an cue for distance, estimating the distance. Yes, motion parallax. Yes, shadows, texture, aerial interpretation, video perspective. Yes, so this is motion parallax also comes under monocular vision. So how it is going while when you are moving, when you observe the things, the same thing. See, gradient texture gives an idea. With these directions, arrow mark directions, you can understand. So the things where you can observe clearly the detailing, if you see that is near to you, and where it is very smooth, then you can observe it as a far away. Then elevation. Yes, where the things are elevated, looks bit higher. Okay, so people who can draw or paint, they will understand this concept of elevation very clearly. If they have to show, give a proper detailing of the distinct objects, they will elevate it, or which looks more heighter in a high or something. So that is more distinct compared to the objects which are very much on the ground. Is it like opposite to this? Distinct objects appear, yeah, distinct objects appear higher in your field of vision than to closure objects. See, the far away house, the hut, looks bit elevated, bit higher compared to this. So that gives a image of that is more distinct. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? Because there is no eye contact, I don't know whether you're able to follow me or not.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
So monocular cues, I hope it is clear for you. So in monocular cues, you are observing the things with one eye. Then vision itself is a three-dimensional. Yes. Asifa. Please mute yourself if you are not talking anything. Please mute yourself. So in monocular cues, looking the things with one eye. So this one eye also giving the cue like it's a three-dimensional. So we are not talking about height and width. Anyhow, this height and width will give an idea of understanding the things. Here the important concept is depth, the distance. How this distance also helping us to analyze the things. Okay. So with one eye also we can estimate the distance. In that various cues are there, like various things are giving a clue to us to estimate the distance. So in this linear perspective, aerial perspective, interposition, shadow, gradient, motion parallax, elevation. Then this all these are the cues which comes under monocular vision. One more thing is left out in your manual. It's given like accommodation. Accommodation is like how your lens are moving. Depends on that we can say the how far or close the object is. Say try to hold a book very close to your eyes. Yes. So what happens? Your eyeballs will be moved away and you're not able to see that object clearly. Means that object is very much close to you. So you're not able to see. Yes. Then if the object is, however, it is going far away from your eyes, your eyeballs will come in an intact position and able to see the details clearly. Means the object is away from, like what we can say, distinct from you. If you're able to see the things clearly, means the not too much of far away, but where you able to see the things very clearly, neatly. Here, I'm able to see the screen very comfortably. Means my eyeballs are intact. So how your eyeballs are changing their position, how they are adjusting themselves, based on that also we can able to estimate how far or how close the objects are. Then binocular vision. So binocular cues are nothing but observing the things with both the eyes. So with both the eyes, what are the cues helping us to understand or estimating the distance when you are using both the eyes? Give me 1 minute. Okay, binocular cues is using both the eyes to estimate the distance. So here, images seen through both eyes are examples of stereoscopic vision. So retinal disparity and convergence also, like how you are adjusting your lens. Retinal disparity is how they are moving. Convergence is how your muscles around your eyes are stressing. Yes, if it is too close, if the object is too close, then your muscles get stressed. Yes, if you experience the stress in your muscles around your eye, then you can, that's giving a cue that the object is too close to you. You are not comfortable enough. Then if your muscles get relaxed, able to see that, or the object is too far, also you need to focus on it. Yes. So convergence depends on the stress of your muscles, how much stress they are taking to observe the things. Depends on that stress or depends on the pressure on the muscles, you can estimate the distance. And retinal disparity, how much they are adjusting themselves. So monocular cues also the same, and binocular cues also, retinal disparity. So in monocular cues, it is saying how your eye is adjusting to see the things. Here, retinal disparity, how your eyeballs are moving. Then here it is stereoscopic vision. All these things, this actually comes under, no, stereoscopic vision is looking the things at with the help of both the eyes. Here, what happens when you are observing both, when you are observing an object with your both the eyes, what happens? You can see a central part of the object. But if you are observing the same object with one eye, are you able to follow? Please place a book in front of you. I don't go beyond this because I'm going to stop the session over here. Check those. See, just place yourself, if you can, all of you, please enable your video and place a book in front of you. Take a book, just hold a book like this. Yes, it's your Principles of Psychology book. Place it in front. If you don't have Principles of Psychology, no need to worry. Any book, yeah, whatever the book you have, just observe this book with both the eyes. Yes, you can see the entire picture, whatever is given, you can see the entire picture if you are observing with both the eyes. What happens, which part you can observe when you close your one eye and observe with one eye, only with one eye. If you are closing your right eye and observing it with your left, only with your left eye, then you can see only left side of the book very clearly, more left side of the book. Close it, maintain a distance. It should be a bit closer to you. If it is far away, then it's easily you can observe the entire thing. Bit closer to you.
Okay.
Yes, just bit closer to you. The book should be a bit closer. Close your one eye and observe. Don't try to look at the entire thing. Just intact. Focus on your attention on one place. So you can see the left side of the part. If you are looking with your left eye, you can see more clearly the left part. Yes. If you are looking with your right eye, you can see more right part of the book. Yes. So yes, our vision differs when we are looking with one eye, with our both eyes. Both the eyes is we are focusing the central point, the entire part. But when we are looking with one eye, one part of that object only we able to see clearly. Yes. So that is known as our stereoscopic effect. Yes?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Why the people of archery uses one eye?
Sorry, I didn't get.
The people who do archery, ma'am,
Yes.
The one eye only they use.
That's what I said. Place it near to you. That archery people, their goal will be far away.
Yes.
Yes. However, the distance is increases till where you can observe the things. One eye is very much okay for you. You can observe the things.
Okay.
The entire part you can observe. But when it is too close to you, yes, nearby, when you are using both the eyes, you can focus only on the center part of the book.
Okay.
Because your eyes will be in between. That's the reason you can focus only on the center part. If you are closing and with the same distance, if you are observing, one side of the part you can observe clearly, not the other end, which you closed. Got it? That is binocular vision. Yes, how your eyeballs changes, and based on that we can estimate the distance. So be thorough with this monocular and binocular cues, because these are the definite questions in your examination. Depth perception is very, very important concept in your perception unit. So next class we do discuss about, we almost completed 2 units, I believe.
Perceptual distortions are left.
We left out with movement and illusions.
Yes, ma'am. Distortions.
Yes, illusions or distortions, perceptual distortions. So these 2 concepts, and we'll continue with 11th unit. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your patience. How you perceived this class, I don't know, but I have finished off 1.5 unit.
Excuse me, madam. Thank you, madam. It was excellent.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the class, could you please tell us what are the, as you just said, depth perception is important for this particular unit. So whatever you have completed, could you just post it? What are the important things from each of those units?
Where you want me to post?
Maybe in the group, or maybe in the next class also, if you can tell us, it would be nice.
Like important questions and other things?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
I'll do it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whatever the age, whatever the position, we are students. That role changes our personality. Okay, we do discuss. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, madam. Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Maybe your other students are waiting, other lecturers are waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.